Welcome to In the Spotlight. I'm Shirley Lin. Today my guest is Chenny Lin, who is Associate Vice President of Strategy and Investment at Liteon Technology, which is a company that makes components for electronic devices and LED lighting. And it's actually the first listed electronics company in Taiwan. Well, let's welcome Chenny. Hi, Chenny.
Hello, Shirley.
All right.
So thanks for inviting me.
You're welcome.
I'm very glad to be here today.
You're most welcome. Yeah. In fact, we kind of go back a long way because apparently we went to the same high school, and that's in Tokyo.
Yep.
And then also we went to the same college in Boston.
Yes.
So yeah, but
we might even be related in some way.
with both, yes. We
have the same last
family
name.
name is Lin. Anyway, who knows? We need to go back and check.
That's right.
So, but anyway, so I believe that your company is not too far from where we are. It's over in Neihu, which is in the district just over from Dazi. But before we get to know you, or actually for our listeners or our viewers to get to know you more, we're going to start with a story. Okay? So it's a story that has made an impact on you. And in fact, it has to do with Sacred Heart, the International School of Sacred Heart in Tokyo.
That's
you
right.
have a lot of memories from those days.
That's right. That's right. Yes. I was born and raised in Taiwan, but I moved together with my family to Tokyo when I was 15 because of my father's job transfer. So I attended this International School of Sacred Heart in Tokyo, which is also your alma mater.
Right. You went there at 15 when you were 15. I was there when I was 11.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
we
right.
exactly. We kind of missed each other.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. But anyway, so I was there. I attended 10th grade. And I could barely speak any English at that time. In Taiwan, in junior high school, yes, they give you some English lessons, but they really hardly count in terms of speaking and listening and so forth. So I was pretty much mute the first few months I was there. However, in Taiwan, I was well trained to take English tests in grammar.
Or any exams for that matter,
That's
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was well trained, and I still remember very vividly today that in my first English test over there, which was in grammar, I got a very high score. I was probably top 3 in class. And my English teacher was so shocked. She didn't believe me. She didn't believe I could do it. She thought I cheated.
Oh.
And so she called me into her office and asked, what I did, and I couldn't explain because I couldn't speak. And I really struggled to try to tell her, look, this is how I did in Taiwan. This is actually, a piece of cake for me. But I really had a hard time explaining. But maybe I think she took pity on me, seeing that, I probably would look too naive to even know how to lie. So I think she believed me. And I think later in the semester, as I made good progress on my English, I think she realized that
right.
I didn't do anything wrong.
That she started to believe in you.
That's right. Yeah. So that was that story really. It was pretty eye-opening to me, or mind-opening to me, because I was a good student back in Taiwan. And then I went to this new school, and all of a sudden I was considered, not able to do the work that a student was supposed to do. And that felt really bad. And then I felt, oh, look, wow, there were classmates back in Taiwan who were probably, like me, struggling to learn. And I didn't give them any second thought. I just thought, okay, they're just stupid. But that's not the case. So I think the big lesson from that experience was that you don't look at things just on the surface. You try to understand the root cause or what's behind the surface. Try to find out what's going on before you make any judgment.
Right.
And that is a lesson that has stayed with me for my whole life.
But I'm sure it's also the fact that you're a good student, when you were in Taiwan. So no matter how challenging it was for you to be in a new country, a new school, and making new friends, you managed on your own. So, I think that's in the character, in the personality that you have, right?
Thank you very much for saying that.
Because you were only in Tokyo at Sacred Heart for 3 years before you moved on. You went to college in Boston. In fact, we ended up in the same college, but then we again didn't cross paths because you're younger than me.
Not by too much, but
Oh, well, yeah, not by too much, okay. But anyway, so that was really something, but just 3 years. So did you pick up the Japanese at all?
a little bit.
A little bit?
Yes.
Because you know how it was in Sacred Heart, I think it was strict that you weren't supposed to speak Japanese other than English in school.
That's right.
Except unless if you were to take, pick Japanese as a foreign language, which was a requirement. What foreign language requirement class did you take? Do you remember?
What did I don't, I think I took English as a second language. ESL because I could not speak English.
Okay.
So I was with ESL
You had an advantage.
all my 3 years.
I see,
But
I see.
yeah, the high school years really, that was a defining period of my life, I think, because I went from Taiwan to Tokyo, but it was an international school. I remember, the class size was not big.
No.
Maybe for me, maybe 40 students. But they were from 21 countries, 22 countries. It's amazing. So I had
United Nations in our school.
Exactly, yeah. So I had classmates from Venezuela, from Nepal, from Indonesia, and we're still in touch, even though they're scattered over the world.
One of my classmates was the daughter of the ambassador from Nauru.
Oh, wow.
It's in the Pacific Ocean, a very, very, very tiny island.
Yes, and it's it really is eye-opening experience.
Yes, having lived in different countries definitely opens up our horizon and our minds to a lot of things.
That's right.
So you were in Japan because of your dad's job, that you were transferred there, right?
That's right.
So then after you graduating from Sacred Heart, you went on to Boston, to Wellesley. What was that experience like? Do you remember more about Wellesley, the lives there, or than Sacred Heart, or what was that?
Yeah, that was again different because.
By the way, that's a women's college.
That's right.
Yes.
That was the first thing I was going to say.
One of the top women's college in the United States. Okay.
That's right. Yes, yes. I had a lot of fun in college. By then my language was okay, and went from going from Tokyo to Boston, in a way, was not so much a difference, I guess. It was very different, but compared with, coming from Taiwan, going from Taiwan to Tokyo, maybe a little bit less of a shock. But still, it was a very different environment. I remember in my first year of college, I probably did not step out of campus for more than maybe 2 or 3 times because I just love that campus.
It's like one of the most beautiful campuses on earth.
That's right. It's huge. It's got a lake, and
yes,
it's a lot of greens, and it's beautiful. So I just enjoyed so much. I didn't go out, and then it was a women's college. Well, actually, Sacred Heart was also a girls' school.
Yes.
Right. So in that sense, I was pretty used to that atmosphere, but I don't know if it's the same. Probably the same with you. But on weekends, there were a lot of men on campus, so that was different.
Yes, it's true because then all these guys come on campus, or even we go off campus to MIT or Harvard for some dance parties. I was just saying that. Did you not go to these dance parties when you were there? You did, right?
I did in my later years, my junior and senior years.
Right. It is a big camp. It is a beautiful campus, but then it's a small campus in Wellesley town. There isn't much to do over there.
That's right.
So you have to go, go somewhere on the weekends.
Yes,
so
yes.
I fooled through my 4 college years.
No, if you double major, I'm sure you studied a little.
Oh no, I just managed to to make it in the minimal whatever. Because when we were home in Taiwan or in Japan, I was with my parents, and I have a very strict dad.
Right.
So there wasn't a lot of freedom. So when I went to college, I was going like, I'm free.
That is so true.
Is that how you felt too?
Same for me, because I think my parents agreed for me to go to the U.S. because I was going to a women's college. So they thought I would be safe. But little did they know that there will be a lot of men on campus on weekends.
Okay.
And you probably know, we had some exchange students from MIT. They would live in the dorm
on campus on the same college.
Yeah, exactly. And some of them live on the same floor as me. So in the morning, I went into the washroom, and there would be a man shaving there. It was so funny.
What? You know what? I think when I left, it was just opening up to, to welcoming co-eds on campus.
see.
So I didn't really go through that. You mean they didn't separate women in men's room?
Well,
washroom?
Yeah, we use the same bathroom, but there's a little tag on the door. So when a man entered, he was supposed to flip the sign to men. But he didn't do that. So when I went, I saw it. It says women, right? So I went in, and then a guy was there. It's really interesting.
You see him naked?
And he said hi. No, he was shaving. So
that's so weird.
I know.
I missed all that.
Yeah, that was really fun.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, and I went on an exchange program actually at MIT in my junior year. So I lived in MIT in my junior year, and the bathrooms were even co-ed.
Oh.
So it's very different.
I've gone to girls' school all my life.
Really? Okay.
Yes. And yes, I was an exchange student at Wesleyan University in Connecticut. That was a co-ed school.
Okay.
I think I was under a lot of pressure. I was originally going to be there for a whole year, but I only stayed for one semester.
Really?
Yeah.
Because of your parents?
No, I don't know. Wesleyan was another small, I think it was, what was the town? But anyway, the town itself was basically Wesleyan University. There was only just one movie theater there.
Okay.
And then, there wasn't much to do.
It's
just like
similar to Wellesley. Yes.
So anyway, I guess I couldn't take any more. So I missed Wellesley more so than anything else.
Oh, I think Wellesley's a better place.
Right. Anyway, we're going on and on about this. I hope that our listeners understand what we're talking about, but there's a lot of commonality there.
Right.
But so then it seems like you've been around the world a little bit, because then after Tokyo, you went to Boston, Wellesley, for 4 years? You were only in Boston for 4 years?
Well, college 4 years, and then I actually went on to study piano at the New England Conservatory. That's in Boston, and that's another 2 years. Then I think I worked for maybe 1 or 2 years before I went to business school in Philadelphia.
To the Wharton.
To the Wharton Business School.
Wharton Business School, prestigious school there.
Thank you.
Right. It seems like you've always had this love for music ever since you were small.
Yes.
Because you started learning the piano at 5.
That's right.
And you kept it up. Are you still playing the
I
piano now?
still play a little bit, yes. Work is busy, so I don't get to practice every day. But I do have a little group, actually. We met over the internet. This was actually another interesting story. There was a classical music site in Taiwan, maybe 15 years ago. And we were all on that site. And then we chatted and exchanged stories about classical music. And then we said, okay, why don't we get together? So and we got together, and we have kept together since.
Okay.
So the core of us, we have, I'm a pianist, and I have basically a string quartet. So the 5 of us were sort of the core team. And with 5 people, you could do everything from, piano quintet, piano quartet, trio, right? And then all sorts of combinations in between. So that's a lot of fun. We gather maybe every 2-3 months, and we just play together.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you guys should be performing at the National Concert Hall.
Thank you.
Do
we
you
talk
not
about it, but it's never, because we're all just people who love music. Some of us are professionals, so we do have, for example, the cellist, actually a professional cellist. But there are also people like me, so.
So he's also a musician?
No. He's an engineer.
Engineer.
He's a boring engineer.
Okay.
But anyway.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Yeah. But at that time, there was a period of time.
Welcome back to In the Spotlight. I'm Shirley Lin, and my guest is Chenny Lin, who is Associate Vice President of Strategy and Investment at Liteon Technology, which is a maker of components for electronic devices, and it's the first listed electronics company in Taiwan. So, hi Chenny, again.
Hello, Shirley.
Right. Now, we were talking about your life,
right.
earlier on, and how we crossed the same high school and the same college, and we were blabbering on about our college life and everything, our student life. So I hope you caught all that. It's just it's good to reminisce, and recollect those good memories and college days. gosh, Wellesley kind of, a good thing is that Wellesley College, which is a women's college, consider the fact that many colleges, women's college, eventually turned into co-ed colleges. Right. Wellesley decided to remain a female women's college for life, I think. Yeah, which I think is good. Yeah, I don't know what everybody else thinks, but
no, I think so too.
Yes, it's a prestigious college, and it continues to produce really amazing women. And the fact is, after I graduated from Wellesley College, and you think that all these women kind of go on to prestigious positions. Well, you do. We'll talk about that later.
Thank you.
There are actually those who decided to do organic farming and become a farmer, or to go into cooking, or publish cookery books, or to do something that you don't normally think that women would do coming from a prestigious college like that, which I think is good, that we continue to preserve our femininity or whatever, and pursue different dreams.
Right.
Regardless of what it is, and not caring what people think,
Yeah.
So that's what I tell my dad. Yes, I graduated from Wellesley, but not every Wellesley women went on to become something really high up. Some have continued to become, maybe an artist, or a sewer, or organic farmer.
Yes.
So I don't know. I was just feeling making a statement about that.
No, but I think that's what Wellesley teaches us. Really try to be yourself and don't let others influence you. So.
If it weren't for Wellesley, I wouldn't be here today doing radio, which I never thought I was going to do. And then Chenny wouldn't be. You went through a whole line of different work.
Exactly,
Yeah. What was the very first job, and what did it entail?
Okay. Maybe I should start from my first job after my business school education, and that is it's a consulting firm called McKinsey & Company. It's, by the way, the oldest consulting firm in the world. It's actually also the largest. It's quite well recognized by the business world. I guess I was lucky to be recruited by McKinsey's Taipei office, so I came back to Taipei with that job.
I read online about an interview. I think it was a print interview that I forgot what it was, some magazine, I think. And you mentioned about the fact that the very first project that you took over when you worked at McKinsey. Now, I'm not sure if it was the one in the States or when you started in Taiwan.
Okay.
Where you said you worked your head off on this very first project having to do with marine shipping.
Yeah.
No, it's shipping.
You read that article?
Well, that was as far as I did reading, because it was in Chinese. And it takes time for me to read in Chinese. How you worked your head off for 2 weeks.
That's
like going through many sleepless nights and everything.
Yes.
But you learned 2 things from that.
Yes.
One was that you should ask for help.
That's right.
When you needed help, instead of trying to do it on your own. And I forgot what was the other thing you said. Tell us about that
I don't remember either. But that was quite an experience. Yeah, McKinsey is a very demanding place, and basically they just they throw you in the pool and expect you to swim. Right? So I went in there. I did this first project, as you mentioned. And that was another, talking about going through all sorts of shocking experiences all my life, right? So that's another one that's like, whoa, I thought I was a smart person. I thought I could do things. No. Now, obviously, this is going to be a huge challenge, and I don't know if I can make it. So, I think at the end, somebody, again, took pity on me and basically guided me through the work. So I was able to finish that. But big lessons. First, always ask for help when you think you cannot do it alone. And I forgot what was the second one. Maybe the second was perseverance or something. Don't give up. Don't lose faith in yourself. Something like that.
Right. Yeah. I think I don't know if it's kind of the Chinese education or the kind of Taiwanese parents' high expectation or whatever. Somehow we made to think that if we want to be good in the business world, if we want to look good in the business world, we need to be tough. We need to do it on our own and show that we can do it on our own. When actually, it's humbling, but it's also, you win respect from people if you say that, I'm stuck. I need help. And actually win more respect from your colleagues, right?
That's
from your
definitely
team.
true, yes.
Yeah.
And at the end, the team succeeds, right? The team does not fail because you cannot do your part.
Yeah.
So that is, it's important to even just not think about yourself, but in consideration of the team's overall success, you should ask for help when the time is correct to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, it's okay. Sometimes we learn things the hard way.
Right.
But you learned it
Right.
from that very first project.
Right.
So, I don't know. You give me the feeling that you're a very independent person. Very. Are you a perfectionist? Would you call yourself a perfectionist?
I guess I try not to. Maybe I used to be more of a perfectionist.
I believe I was,
Yeah.
and I think I still am. Only a little better now.
Yeah. It's sort of ingrained in our DNA. But
Right.
I think over the years, I learned to relax and think, okay, time will take care of itself. The solution will come no matter what. And I think it really helps because I guess for people like us, sometimes when you're more relaxed, you actually achieve the results that otherwise you wouldn't have.
Yeah. Now, which of your parents is the more demanding one? The one that expects a lot from you? They're both? What's the background? I mean, what was their work?
My father was a marine engineer, and he later joined a shipping company, so that's his background. My mother was a teacher in a public school.
I was just thinking that maybe one of them is a teacher.
Yeah, okay, you got it right.
I see.
Yeah, so they are pretty traditional. They don't express their affection openly, of our
So
generation.
much like my father.
Yeah, that's our generation. But but I think they gave me the opportunities to see the world. They gave me my education. They gave me, basic qualities to work with. So I'm really grateful. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What about your current job at Liteon? You've held the same position for 8 years, or?
No, actually,
strategy
I
investment?
joined Liteon first 8 years ago as a special assistant to then the vice CEO, the deputy CEO, of Liteon, who's actually now the CEO. And I was supposed to work on strategic investment at the time, but at that time, Liteon actually just made its biggest acquisition ever. It just bought a Finnish company, actually. It's a company that makes casing for the handset. And it's a Finnish company, so you can imagine at the time it was a supplier to Nokia, who at the time was the biggest handset company in the world.
Yes.
So in my first week of my job, I was asked to fly to Finland to work on the post-merger management, sorry. So we did that, and we did the turnaround strategy. I got so involved, basically, I decided to just transfer to that company. So it was a 100% owned subsidiary of Liteon, but it operated as an independent company.
I see.
So eventually I joined there first as a chief strategist, and then later I jumped into sales myself. So I was head of the business development.
What
was a lot of fun.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. What exactly is involved with what was it? Strategist?
Chief strategist.
I mean, what do you
because when we bought the company, it was in not very good shape. It was not competitive enough to be profitable. So we basically designed a whole program on how to turn the company into a profitable one. So we started out with manufacturing footprint. It had factories in Europe, which had a very high cost base. So we actually closed down a couple of the factories there. We moved the headquarters from Finland to Beijing, actually.
That's why you went
That's
to Beijing
why I
for
went
2 years.
to Beijing. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, and we replaced just about the whole management, the top management. And
You were not married then?
I
in
was
Beijing?
already married.
Oh, wait a minute, so your whole family moved to Beijing?
Yeah, we moved to Beijing for 2 years.
Because of your job?
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, that was it. Actually, was something I'm pretty proud of because we turned around the company successfully. So for a few years, it was actually doing pretty well. But then the major customer, Nokia, started its decline. So, so unfortunately, we have some more challenge to face.
Okay.
But yeah, that was a good experience.
Yes. So what exactly does your job, your current position involve? I mean, what kind of things do you do?
Yes.
How many people do you watch over?
I don't have a big team. Our team is maybe 4 or 5 people.
Okay.
But as head of strategy investment, it's actually 2 functions, strategy and investment.
Wow.
So as for the strategy part, I work with my company's top management to define the overall direction of the company. Liteon is actually very diversified. It has many product lines. So for us, portfolio management is important. So we need to know which product lines are the future stars. So we need to grow them. We need to invest in them. Which ones are the cash cows? So we need to maximize the profitability of these businesses. So we have money to invest for the future. Mm-hmm. And then which ones are the more maybe mature or even businesses that will go into decline just because the industry trends. So those we have to prepare them and maybe thinking about exit eventually. So this whole portfolio management strategy and execution would be the area I work with together with our top management, of course. Oh. But then once we define the strategy, then the investment part will fit in because it's a strategic investment. So if these are the product lines we want to grow in, then maybe inorganic growth would be a major driver. So we proactively look for targets for acquisition, and we recommend to our business groups, and we work together. We do the acquisition, and we do the most post-acquisition management and monitoring as well. So.
You have a big responsibility at Liteon.
Oh, thank you. But it's a fun job. It's
looks like you enjoy
a lot of different things every day.
Looks like you enjoy what you do.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
All right.
Yes, very exciting.
Wow. So, do you do a lot of traveling on your job? This current job?
Not so much anymore, actually.
But before, you were traveling a lot.
Yeah, especially when I was doing sales myself, I was traveling just about every week almost.
Wow.
Yeah, but now it's okay. No, I fly just to maybe look at the companies that we might invest in.
How do you balance between family and work?
Yeah. It's a challenge. I'm sure you understand.
My kids are more grown up now. You married a little. You married probably about I don't know. What age were you when you got married?
Early 30s, maybe.
Early 30s, a little later than me. I mean, but I had kids earlier than you.
Right.
So my older one is actually graduating from college this year. So they're all on their own.
I think family support is extremely important. I think I'm lucky that my parents live nearby, and my daughter actually is quite independent. So after school, she goes to my parents' house first, have dinner and do homework and all that. So when I go home, she's basically done. That really helps.
And what time do you get home usually?
Usually maybe 7, 8-ish at night. It's not too bad actually, because now in the internet world, I can put my kid to bed and I get back on my computer and I do things. So.
Oh, you bring work home. Oh, no.
Yeah.
But,
no, it's not the best thing, but...
I know, but considering the position that you hold, I can see why.
But compared with having to stay in office for longer, it works better this way.
Right,
so,
okay.
Yes.
Wow, so, all right. Well, before we say goodbye, though, I want to pop 2 questions.
All right.
All right. So it's one of those questions where I ask you, what's the first thing you think of when I say blah, blah, blah? And hopefully they can think of something that's related to Taiwan, okay? So what's the first thing you think of when I say someplace you want to be by yourself? When you work all day long and then you want some time to yourself. What's a good place to go? Where would you think
I would say top of the Yushan Mountain.
Top of the Yushan Mountain, which is the tallest mountain in Taiwan and also in Asia, actually.
That's right.
But have you ever been up there? No, it's your dream.
It's my dream, yes.
I can't believe it. You that athletic?
No, not really. But
why
I guess that's why it's good to set a goal, right? Set a stretch goal for yourself. So
really? Yeah. Well, you better start to work out now.
That's true.
Is this for real? Really?
I think so. I would
Don't
like to
invite
do that.
me.
Yeah. All right.
Don't invite me to go
Yeah,
with.
I hike a little bit, but I'm not by no means a professional. But
Really?
I should really start exercising, especially after the new year.
Oh yes, I know.
Right.
We all gain a little bit. So wow, Yushan, of course. I mean, that
Yes.
was probably the most lonely place to be if you want to.
Time to
But
find
it's-
a place to find some solace, I guess.
Right,
Yes.
right. But also, it's probably the most beautiful view they can get from the top of Yushan,
That's
which
right.
is also known as the Jade Mountain.
That's right.
All right. Well, second question. What's the first thing you think of when I say the color white? And it has to do with Taiwan.
Yeah, I think of what you call the 油桐花, the tong
The
flowers.
tong flower.
Yeah,
Yes.
they bloom in spring, and then when they fall down, it's all white on the ground. It's beautiful,
Yes.
beautiful.
Yeah. Our view of snow.
Yeah, that's right. That's what we call it, May snow, I think, right?
May
五月雪.
snow.
Yeah,
Huh?
that's
Yeah,
right.
that's right. They bloom in May, and that Hakka uses this flower a lot.
That's
Whether it's in their design for for their cloth making or whatever. Yeah, it's a very significant flower for the Hakka, but also it's a beautiful flower. It's sort of like a ball-like,
right, that's
beautiful.
right.
It can be a bouquet on its own, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
the
yes.
tong
Beautiful.
flower.
Yes.
All right, great. Well, it's been such a joy talking to Chenny.
Likewise,
And
thank you.
I know that we're going to connect more now that,
All right.
we're alums in so many, in our
Yeah,
school
yeah,
years
yeah.
and everything. There's so much to talk about and reminisce. But so good to have you back here in Taiwan.
Thank you.
And good luck with your job.
Thank you so
Just
much. I need it.
stay healthy.
Yes.
Don't overwork yourself.
Yes.
Yes. But
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank
Shirley.
you, Chenny.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching In the Spotlight. I'm Shirley Lin.